hopefully at one another. The first set passed by and went down the fold, but the second had a familiarity about them, and sure enough, they stopped at the door, and John Holden came in. He looked grim, and he was alone. "Where's Thomas?" Molly asked him.
"He's been arrested,"
he said quietly. "Arrested? What for?" Molly tried to make sense of what her father-in-law was telling her. John pulled off his cap and came over to the fire to warm his hands. Molly stared at him. He seemed unable to speak. He sank onto his chair and stared at the flames for a moment before looking up.
"We went up past Sweet Green towards the rope walk,"
he told them as Molly poured the tea and handed him a cup.
"We met up with some others going the same way. Jack Fisher was one of them. When we got near to the field, we could see that there were about 50 or 60 men gathered. Someone approached us. He had his face blackened, so as no one would know him. But there was something familiar about him, and when he spoke, I were left in no doubt. It were Isaac Crompton."
Molly shuddered at the name.
"Crompton went on ahead to ask if we could be admitted to the meeting."
He paused to take a drink of his tea and put the cup down on the hearth with a trembling hand.
"Some other men came up behind us. They gave the password church steeple and were allowed through. Then Crompton came back to tell us we were admitted, and we went in. This chap who seemed to be in charge, I didn't know him, said that all those who were new had to come forward, so we went and stood near him. He told us that we were to say nowt about the meetings because he would have no truck with babblers, folk who'd tell all to Colonel Fletcher for a couple of pounds in their hand. He said as he knew we'd come up from Hag End and Lever Lane, and he hoped we weren't babblers, else the meeting would be jeopardised and we'd all end up being transported."
The word struck Molly like a blow to the stomach. "Transported," she repeated. "Not Thomas?" She could feel her heart pounding, and she was shaking. Surely they wouldn't send Thomas away to the other side of the world. He'd done nothing wrong.
"I don't know, lass,"
said John.
"It were exciting at first," he admitted. "There was such an atmosphere of hope and determination. The man told us that the meetings were being held to destroy the present wickedness that reigns in this country. And after that, another man came forward with a scarf covering his face, and he had a book. I don't know if it were a Bible or not, and we were told to put a hand on it and swear an oath that we would reveal nothing about what we'd seen and heard."
He paused and seemed to shiver, shaking his head as he continued his story.
"We hadn't even had time to finish the words when a cry went up that the rope walk were afire. It took hold quickly with it being a thatched roof, and after only a few minutes the place was lit up bright and folk took fright and ran. Thomas and I began to make our way back to the path. We thought we were safe enough, but then we heard horsemen coming up. At first we thought they were going to put out the fire, but then we saw there were members of Fletcher's militia. We tried to dodge behind some gorse so they wouldn't see us, but the flames were lighting up the sky, and they'd already caught sight of Thomas."
He pulled a rag from his pocket and blew his nose.
"I'm sorry," he said. "There were nowt I could do to stop 'em. They seized him by the arms and took him away."
"Where to?" asked Molly, horrified by the story.
"The Bolton jail, probably, but he'll be sent up to Lancaster for trial if Fletcher finds any evidence against him." "But there can't be any evidence," protested Ellen. "He's done nothing wrong, and thou said thou wasn't even at t' meeting when t' militia came." "Aye, that's right," replied John. "All we were doing was walking home, minding our own business. But I doubt Fletcher'll see it like that. Thou'll have to go to his house and make him see as our Thomas is innocent,"
Ellen told him.
"Aye, I will,"
agreed John.
"I'll go first thing in the morning, catch him early before he goes to his work."
"I'll come with thee," said Molly. "Will thou be able to mind Annie?" she asked Ellen, hoping her mother-in-law would be able to manage.
"Nay,"
said her mother-in-law.
"Take t' child with thee. He has younger childer of his own, and happen it'll soften his heart if he sees thee with the little un."
Ellen insisted that Molly stay the night with them, rather than be on her own with the baby, and she was easily persuaded.